let's go back to those days where you're playing hockey in the alley. So what was that like? Were you tell me about those games where you're coming home from school?
Yeah, I mean, I'll never forget.
Was that a daily thing?
That was a daily thing. 5 days a week. We were, Monday to Friday, we were playing at 3:30 till 6 o'clock. And then sometimes after dinner, we'd still go back out. But that was game time. In Maureen Crescent, it was called, where I grew up. And there we had a really good group there in our neighborhood. It was pretty old school. We had a nice cul-de-sac. And
how old are you?
I'm probably like 7, 8 years old, maybe. Okay. We were out in the street ball hockey.
And what's the oldest kid?
We probably had kids 14, maybe 14. We had the Lottie brothers who played lacrosse. They were on the Whistler ski team. We had Milani's were there. We had like a lot of people that were fairly good athletes. Derek Milani, he played for the junior cable vision. And so it was kind of, and then also my brother was there. I forget about him, but my brother was a great athlete, great on the track. And also he was just all around fast. He played lacrosse. They won championships. So we played and we competed, and it was just so much fun. The street, I remember growing up as a kid, and we used to have a race once around the block, and the champion would be always crowned, like we looked up to, right? And here's me with short little legs trying to keep up to all these other guys that are 5, 7 years older than me. I never did win a race, but I tried. And I think that's really what I would say the message to the young kids out there. If you're smaller, just keep trying, because that try will eventually give you that chance.
Tell us about that big game where you scored the big goal on the street. Yeah. It's Maureen Crescent. That was the name of your team?
Yeah, Maureen Crescent All-Stars. My brother came up with that. So, yeah, we just had what it was we played a team that a friend of mine, John Hammerling, they were more, I believe, down off of Sperling or something. And we were from, up by Barnett Highway area. That's where I grew up. And everyone got wind that our team was the best team and the other team was the best team. And somehow at high school, these guys decided, grade 8, whatever, we're playing for the championship. So I was pretty well, I was there, and I wasn't really...
You're not in high school, are you?
No, I'm 10 years old.
Yeah.
So, and these other kids are 14, 15, these guys are almost ready to drive a car. And my brother brings me because he thinks I'm pretty good, and I didn't play almost the whole game. And the game went into overtime, and then my brother, obviously being the coach of the team at the time, he was playing, but they decided to try to use me as a secret weapon. Back then, there's no offside, right? So what they did was they played 4 guys back, and they told me to go stand by the other net, and they're going to slap the ball up to me. And so I guess someone got it and shoot it down to me. I get it. I come down. I deke the goalie, and I score. And here's a 10-year-old winning the game for these guys that are in grade 8. And I'll never forget that, because that was kind of like my coming out in the neighborhood. All of a sudden, I was like the guy that scored the big goal. It's kind of funny, but when you're living in a small world like that, when you're young, that was everything.
Well, it's those experiences that can kind of develop you as a clutch player.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, I wanted the ball. It wasn't like I didn't want it. I wanted him to give it to me because I felt I wanted to win. But looking back, some of those guys that we're playing against probably could have pitchforked me about 30 feet, but they just thought, you know what, leave him there. He's just a little runt, and we don't have to worry about him. And I guess the game plan worked. And we talk about it sometimes when we get together, and it's quite comical that that happened. And then I went on eventually, to play in the NHL. They kind of laugh. They joke about it quite a bit.